What's up, everybody? It's Rick, and welcome to Valheim, the new open-world survival game based in a Viking afterlife. This game, y'all, is a ton of fun. We played it last Saturday, the four of us, Stumpt crew, and it immediately captured my imagination, and I've been playing it a lot since. And I figured, why am I playing this alone? Why not record this with you guys? So, we're going to jump into a save file that I found online that hopefully will get us to a trader, because I have yet to find a trader in my own spare time playing this game. But I want to find them because I want to get a fishing pole. I want to do some fishing amongst other things in this game. But you know what, let's just get started with my Rick character. So full disclosure, this character is the character I've been playing in my spare time. I've already got a lot of progress going with this character, but I'm going to be starting a new game. I went ahead and emptied out all of the inventory that this character has accumulated, so we're going to be going in empty-handed, but I am going to be starting with quite a bit of my skills leveled up. So that'll hopefully get us over some of the grindiness at the beginning of the game. So it's worth mentioning the seed that we're going to be playing is 42069 LOL XD. This I found online. I did not make up this seed, okay? This seed, apparently, if you run down the coast for a while, you'll find a trader, so we'll know where to look for this trader, all right, as we get into the game. And it's going to take a minute for this game to load because it is all procedurally generated and it's all voxel based, which means that everything in the game can be destroyed. Kind of like Minecraft. This is like a Minecraft-esque game, but I really love playing open world survival games, and no open world survival game has caught my attention quite like Valheim has, probably since I played 7 Days to Die like 4 or 5 years ago. And that game, it kind of fizzled out in early access. The devs just couldn't figure out what they wanted to do with it. But I have high hopes for Valheim, and I'm looking forward to playing with you guys. Okay, so also worth mentioning that normally there is like a little cutscene that explains why you are in Valheim. If you guys want to see that, I'm sure there's other places you could look for it. It's a pretty generic story, though. Basically, Odin is sending us to this afterlife world, Valheim, where you sort of train soldiers in the afterlife to fight for Odin, and so that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take a look at our map. You can see that the entire world. We can go around the entire world, but right now we're just starting right here, day one. And look at that. There's already a deer over there. There's a deer over there. We're going to hunt those later. Speaking of deer, let's read this real quick. This is going to tell us that Ikther, our first boss, is just to the north of where we are. Now, Ikther, we obviously aren't prepared to fight Ikther yet. We've got a long way to go, but it's good to know that that's where we're going to need to find them. And then I'm just going to start running to the west, and as we run to the west, we're going to look for a few things along the ground to help us craft some tools and whatnot. We're going to look for some sticks that are on the ground. We're going to look for some stones, start making us a club. There's a stick. Start making us, got a boar over here. Oh, so when you attack with the left button, and then you can block with the right mouse button. And blocking this game, like more so than any other survival game, you really gotta block. Blocking does a lot. Like I'm down to 4 HP. This boar's almost got the better of me, and I really don't want to die. So there we go. Thank goodness. Ended up knocking out that boar, and I got some meat, and I got some skins for it. Oh, and by the way, I do have a few sticks and a few flint on me because I forgot to empty those out of my pockets. So, you know, little bonus we've got there starting up the game. And there's a deer. Deer, unlike the boars, they're not going to fight us. They're going to run away. We're going to need to craft a bow and arrow if we want to hunt them. And we will hunt them quite a bit later on. So there's two ways that you can, there's several ways actually that you can gather some wood early game. You can punch these little saplings, which go down pretty easy. There we go. You can pick it up off the ground, or you can punch the big trees too, but it's going to take a long time to knock them down. So you're really just better off just picking up stuff off the ground to start out the game. Okay, and you'll see that there's a yellow bar down there at the bottom of the screen. That's your stamina, and basically everything in this game takes stamina, okay? If you run, it takes stamina. If you sneak, it takes stamina. If you punch, if you block, any of that stuff it takes stamina. So you're going to really want to monitor that bar. And the bar is so small, right? You're like, why is that bar so small? That's not a lot of stamina. As we eat things, that stamina will increase. So we just picked these raspberries. I'm going to eat a raspberry. Boom, now I have 4 stamina bars. Pretty cool. And you can see that that raspberry is indicated over there on the left-hand side, the bottom left there, you can see the raspberry. But there's 3 boxes where that raspberry is. There's a raspberry, and then there's 2 boxes above that raspberry, which is indicating I can eat 2 more things. Now, I can't just eat 2 more raspberries. No, no, no. You need to diversify the food that you eat. So there's several food in the game that you can eat. We got some meat, but we're going to need to cook that before we eat it. We can find other berries. We can find mushrooms throughout the forest. So as we find other things, we'll eat them. And as we eat more food and diversify the food, we will gain more stamina and we'll gain more max HP. So here we go. Here in the meadow, and you can see on the mini-map, we're in the meadow up there at the top right. The meadow, there's pretty much only raspberries, and every now and then you'll find, oh, that is a grayling. We're going to run from that grayling for now, just because we're so low on HP. But eventually we'll find mushrooms. Once we get into the other biomes, like the Black Forest, we'll find blueberries. And then there's different kind of meats and stuff that we can cook as well. If you eat meat, you'll get more max HP, as opposed to just eating berries and stuff. As you would imagine, it's just a heartier meal, and you'll get bigger gains for it. All right, so I mentioned that we were going to just keep running to the west, and we're just going to run to the west until we hit the coastline. And then once we hit the coastline, we're going to start working our way down south along the coast. Oh, and look at this. Okay, so this is a little bit scary. We should be near the beach, though, so I'm not going to panic too much. But you can see the trees changed. We went from being in those trees over there, like the beech and the birch trees, to now being these fir and pine trees. We are in the Black Forest, which is a tougher biome with tougher enemies. So we don't want to spend too much time in this biome. We want to try to get out as soon as possible. So we've hit the beach, and we're going to start to make our way south now, and hopefully get out of this biome before, oh, those gray dwarfs find me. So we saw a grayling earlier. Graylings are like the easy version of these gray dwarfs. Gray dwarfs are like level 2 graylings. Eventually they won't be that big a deal, but we're just baby mode right now, running around in our underwears, so we're going to run from them. And we're going to pick up flint along the beach as we do. So flint is going to be something that we're going to need quite a bit of eventually. And the one place that you can find it is by the water. So we're just going to go ahead and take this opportunity to pick up some flint as we weave our way down south. Not to mention we're going to pick up some wood and some berries as well. Okay, and you know, as we are working our way down south, we are going to stop right here. This is like an old ruined building. It's got a couple things, some gold and some amber in this chest. And I would like to tear this down and gather wood from it. In order to do that, let's go ahead and open our crafting menu. And let's create a hammer. So the hammer is what we're going to use to build everything in this game. And the first thing we're going to need to build is a crafting workbench, okay? The workbench, you can't build anything in this game related to like home building. You can't put down floors, you can't build walls, you can't do anything until you have a workbench put down. So I need 10 wood in order to do that. And that means you can't take stuff apart either until you have a workbench. So now I can build my workbench. Let's go ahead and pull out the hammer. I'm going to put down the workbench right here. And here's another thing about the workbench. I'm going to look at this. Oh, good. Actually, the workbench only works if there's a roof over it. So there is just enough roof over this to make it work. So now that we can actually access the workbench, you can see that we have a lot of other things unlocked. And this is a bit of a cheat mode because there are a lot of things unlocked on here that normally wouldn't be, but because I've been playing this character as long as I have, I've unlocked a bunch of recipes. So normally you wouldn't start out with things like fine bows or anything like this, antler pickaxes and stuff. This is kind of a sneak peek into what we can craft later on. Normally you just have the first level 1 items open. Okay, so we have that put down, and now I can actually start to tear things down. So with the hammer out you can go ahead and middle mouse on all of these things in order to tear them down. And for me, the easiest way to tear things down is just to take out the bottom level of stuff. Because this game is physics-based, and without walls, everything will fall down. Okay, we've got a grayling here. So this grayling, really quickly, on the fly, I'm going to try and craft a club, which is the first weapon of the game. All right, club is crafted. Let's take out the grayling now. Come here. Don't run from me. There we go. That grayling is toast. And now that all this is tore down, I'm just going to run over here, pick up all this stuff, and let's break this too. And then lastly, let's break our workbench and get a move on. So we picked up 45 wood, which is a really good start. In early game, rather than chop down trees and stuff, this is kind of the best way to get wood. If you find an old ruined building like that, just plop down a workbench and tear it apart. Oh, so here we have another creature. These ones are called necks, funny enough. And they only spawn near water too. They're little aquatic creatures. You're going to want to stop and you're going to want to fight these neck as much as possible because they drop neck tails, which is confusing. You don't eat the neck, you eat the tail. Well, you eat the tail of the neck, but not the neck of the neck, the tail of the neck. It's one of two different meats that you'll get early on. So the deer and the boar are going to give you the same kind of meat. It's just going to be this chunk of meat here, raw meat. But the necks give you these neck tails. And like I said, when you eat meat, you get better health, you get better stamina from it. So you want to try to eat 2 different meats, if not 3 different meats eventually. So we're going to want to get our hands on that neck meat as much as possible. But since they only spawn near the water, they're a little bit harder to come by than things like boars and deer, which spawn all over the dang old place. Okay, so as we're moving our way down south, let's take a peek here and just see how far we've come. We haven't come that far from where we started, but this is kind of a nice area to build. I'm going to mark this as a potential area to build a home, okay? So I'm just going to put a little home icon there. I don't know if we want to build a home there. Oh, look at all these boars. Not sure if we want to build a home there, but, you know, it's a potential home spot. So let's go ahead and start beating up some boars. Hopefully they don't kill me. Boars are aggressive, so they will attack rather than flee. Ooh, see that? See that? I just blocked so much damage. And remember, everything you do in this game requires stamina. So if you swing at a boar and then you need to block, you gotta remember to conserve some of that stamina. Otherwise, you're gonna find yourself unable to block and you're gonna take damage. Come on. And you can hold down the block button and swing at the same time, so I would highly recommend doing that. Oh man, there are so many boars around these parts. Cool. So we've already got a couple boar heads, some other scraps, and some meat saving up there. Cool. Oh, neck. Give me your tail, neck. Oh, and there's 3 more neck right here. There are so many animals around these parts. This is really good stuff. We're getting lots of food. So once we do finally set up a home area, we can put down a fire and start cooking, baby. It's just a matter of finding out what... Oh my goodness. 3 boars coming at us. Okay. Getting real low on HP, so I'm going to need to be careful. There we go. See, and this is why I'm glad that I'm playing my character that has quite a bit of skills. By the way, let's just take a look. You can see how much I've leveled up this character. Obviously, your skills all start at level 1, so in quite a few of those categories, I've leveled up pretty significantly, which affects how much damage I can do and whatnot. Okay, this is even a better spot than the last one. It's a little bit farther down south. Okay, so we're going to mark this as a potential home spot too. Now, there's a few things we're going to look for in a home spot. We're going to want a place that's kind of open, some place that has some flat areas, and a place that has good access to like a few different biomes. All right, we're gonna want to access to the Black Forest biome, and if you can get access to one or two other biomes, that's even better. Okay, so I'm gonna put down my workbench once again. There we go, just so I can tear some stuff down. And once again, we're just gonna tear down all the walls and let gravity do the rest of the work. And I don't see any floors in this place, so I'm just gonna go ahead and tear that down. And while that's breaking, I'm gonna go down here and tear this one down. Oh, and we got raspberries down here too. Look at that. All right, so this one is probably gonna be even easier than the last one because I just have to take down these supports here. And by the way, I can hear some buzzing. I think that this might, yes, this does actually have a beehive in it. I have yet to actually take a beehive. I'm curious. I know Price played around with the beehive when we were playing together. Is that thing still, there we go. It's just taking a minute to fall down. I was like, is that somehow floating in midair? It is not. Slowly starting to come down. Can I take you? Oh God, I'm being stung. Okay, so good to know I can be stung by those bees. I don't even know if that's gonna, it's just falling down very, very slowly. Okay, while that's trying to figure out what it's supposed to do, let's go pick up this wood. Oh, and there were a few floors that we missed, but that's fine. Okay. And we're at 230 of 300 pounds in our inventory. This game, like most survival games, but especially in this game, you can fill up your inventory and become encumbered so quickly. So you're gonna really wanna monitor how much stuff you're carrying. And you know what, that's good. We're not gonna wait around for the rest of that stuff to fall. We're gonna get our move on as we go further south. So if I can get close to the Black Forest, then I'll be happy. We want to find a place near water, near the Black Forest, without being in the Black Forest, and a place that's kind of flat. It's our prerequisites. Oh, here's a river, which is nice. Rivers are nice. Okay. Rivers have flint, and they also have necks. Hello, necks. Give me your tails. And I like the necks. They're kind of cute. I'm not sure if they're real mythological creatures. I've never heard of a neck before. But I gotta imagine that they're probably based on some kind of real creature, right? There's too many real mythical creatures to make up new ones. Why would you do that? Norse mythology has so much to draw from as it is. And I'm feeling pretty good about how much loot I'm getting so far. As far as necks go, I got 5 necks. I've only got 4 meat. Seems like I should have more meat, honestly, considering all the boars that I've killed. But every time you kill a boar, you're not guaranteed to get skins or meat. Okay, we've got another open area. By the way, in the distance there, you can see a snowy mountain. So that's a thing. And this area here is also has really good potential to be a home spot. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this as a home spot too. And we're going to wander just a little bit farther south now. And I hope that I hit the Black Forest soon. If I hit the Black Forest, then this is going to be our home, because this is in a pretty good spot. Okay, so, oh, my club. Did you just knock the club out of my hand, or did I put it away? What happened there? You notice that that neck had a star by its name. That means it's an elite neck, and killing those elite creatures will give you extra resources. And you'll see those elite creatures everywhere. There's elite boars, there's elite gray dwarfs, elite deer. They're going to be a little bit harder, obviously. And you'll find them with 1 star or 2 stars next to their name. I've only seen them with up to 2 stars. I'm not sure if there are harder variants that have like 3 stars and above. but you can find up to 2-star elites. Okay, the forest is getting real thick here. Still no sign of the Black Forest yet. Which is a bummer, because I really like that last place we were at. I figured that'd be a really good place to build a home. But if it's too far away from the Black Forest, I'm gonna give it a pass. Okay, there's the Black Forest. I can see the trees. And looking at this area here, we could build up in this area. I could start clearing this out, build by the coast here. I think that could work. So let's pull up in our inventory here and build our first stuff. So let's put down our workbench. Now the workbench, like I said, if we're gonna do a building, this thing has to be roofed. So what I'm gonna do real quick, the quick and easy way to build a roof of this thing is just to do this, I've found. If you do that, it should let you build. There we go, we can build. Or we have access to this. And I'm gonna build ourselves a hoe. Okay. Now the hoe, it doesn't let you plant, but it does let you level out your dirt. So we can start to level out the area. Okay, and it's nighttime, which means that it's cold. And when you're cold, it's going to affect your stamina negatively. Okay. Which just means that you're going to recharge your stamina slower than you normally would. So things like fighting or doing anything really at night, it's just going to be that much harder. So what you're going to want to do is try to sleep throughout the nights whenever possible. Obviously, that's not really possible for us right now because we are without a bed. So what we're going to try to do, whoops, is build up a bed if we can. Okay, going to clear out these bushes. I've leveled out this area, so we could go ahead and start to build ourselves just a tiny home. Just the tiniest of homes. So let's start by making a fire. All right, fire's down. And then let's make ourselves something to cook our meat on. There we go. We're going to cook a couple meats. Now, the fire you can't build on top of floor, which makes sense because it's made out of wood and it's flammable. And that would be silly to build it on top of something flammable. Then we'll put you there, you right there, and you right there. Okay, and our meat is done. You know when it's done because it does that little thing that it does. There we go. Put a couple meats back on. And let's see if I can level this out a little bit more. Oh, that's the wrong way to level out. Okay, I'm just making this worse. Leveling in this game is not easy, by the way. Okay, I think that's going up. That's down. Okay, we got more meat. Yeah, I just don't quite understand leveling in this game. It's not precise at all. Okay, it really don't matter. It really doesn't matter. We're just gonna build our walls. Okay, we got our neck meat. You know, we've got enough food, so we're gonna go ahead and eat a raspberry and a couple pieces of meat. That's gonna help boost our stuff pretty good there. And we said we're gonna build a tiny house, and I do mean tiny. So we'll do like that, and then we'll throw in some walls. And in this game, they're really going for realism. So when you got your fire there, you're gonna need to make sure that you have proper ventilation. Otherwise, you will die from smoke inhalation, which means that when we build our roof, we're just gonna want to make sure that we have a hole in the roof where the smoke can get out. Eventually, we'll go ahead and build more complex chimneys and whatnot. Okay, we're getting a little bit short on wood. I did build an axe, so let's start chopping down some trees to get some wood. Oh, that tree went right inside our house. I think this log fell on the fire. And when logs and stuff fall on the fire... Oh, okay, we got a big boy here. We got a gray dwarf coming in on us. We've got a few gray dwarfs. This area may not be a great place to build, actually. You see how many gray dwarfs there are? Holy crap. Okay. I am abandoning ship right now. In this early state of the game, we are in no position to battle with that many gray dwarfs. So you know what I'm going to do instead? I am going to fall back to that one place I marked up there. Perhaps that place was just built a little bit too close to a black forest for our liking. We're going to pull back. All right, it is day 2. We have finally made it to the place that we are going to call home. Sure, it's farther from the black forest than we would have liked, but you know what? This is going to be a good place to build. And yeah, that other place, it was just too close to the black forest, unfortunately. I thought that we were far enough away, but those gray dwarfs, they roam in big packs, as you saw. And they'll mess us up. But this little clearing in the meadow is really nice, and I'm just going to sort of search around until I find a nice place that's sort of flattish. This is kind of a nice place that's sort of flattish, and this is where we're going to set up. So I'm going to pull out my hoe just to start leveling the ground once again. And we discussed how the level doesn't work as great as you would hope for a level to work. But what it does do very well is get rid of the grass. So you can actually see where the heck you're building. So I'm going to let my stamina recharge a little bit. Oh, we're going to pop another raspberry. And oh, hey, okay, I can take on you. I don't want to take on your big brothers, but I can take you on. There we go. Grayling is down. My lights are currently flickering because we have like a freezing storm, and hopefully I don't lose power. Hopefully I can keep recording. Okay. So this will suffice for now. Eventually I want to build us an impressive base that will, you know, please the gods. But for now, this will do for our little meager base that we'll start out with. And we're going to do what we did before, which was put down a fire. But you know what? Because I sort of hightailed it out of that area, we're going to need to get some resources again. So let's just start chopping down some trees. All right. Let's get this thing going. And you'll notice that most of my gear is getting very weak. You can see the durability on them getting very low. The good thing about this game is that tools don't break. They can be repaired. Now, you can imagine we're going to need a workbench to repair them. Oh, are you kidding me? Get out of here, nerd. These graylings are going to break my club. So we'll need to get enough wood to build our place, our modest little place, and then we're going to need to fix up our tools. And now there's two types of trees in this meadow area. There are these, gray trees, these beech trees that we're chopping down. These ones you can chop down with a little bit of work. And then there's these other trees here. These ones, these birch trees. These ones, too hard to chop down. Eventually we'll be able to chop those down, but we can't chop them down with our early stage tools. We'll have to wait until we get to the Bronze Age in order to chop those down. But once we do, they'll give us new types of wood which we'll be able to build new types of things out of. Ow! That's right. And you can get hurt by these things. Okay, let's eat ourselves another neck there. And how much wood do we have? We have a full stack and then 6. So you know what? That's good enough to get started. You know what? I'm probably going to need some more stone. So let's go pick up some more stone. I think I need 10 stone to make a fire, if I'm remembering that correctly. Oh, 5 stone. Okay, good. That is not nearly as bad. There we go. That should be able to get us our fire pit, which we're going to build right up here. And we're going to need to put down our workbench yet again. For now, workbench right there. And I'm going to need to repair my tools. So you know what? Let's build a roof over this thing real quick. Like we did that other time. Hopefully my hammer doesn't break before we're able to get this built. There we go. And the station is too exposed. Ah, you got to be kidding me. I can try throwing up a couple of sides on this thing. Maybe if I put a couple sides on, it won't be exposed. Let's see. There we go. Cool. So we can repair all our tools, and it's no cost to repair your tools. So keep your tools repaired. And we're going to put our fire right in the middle. That's where we're going to build our house. Okay, so fire's up. Let's throw down some wood floors, just like we did last time. We're building this a little bit higher up, so hopefully our floors don't get covered with dirt the way that they did before. Oh, I talked about wanting to do like a fireplace. What I'm going to do for a fireplace is I'm going to build like this, and then I'm going to pop some walls around it, like so. There we go. And do the same right on top if I can. There we go. 1, 2. And this will make sure the smoke goes up and out rather than inside our base where it can choke us to death. There we go. I'm doing this just for aesthetic, honestly. This isn't necessary, but I'm doing it anyway. Okay, there you go. And there is our fire. We're going to build a spit above it. Now, important piece of information. I put a spit in the middle. Turns out, though, you could put several spits in over one fire. Honestly, you could probably fit more if you wanted. I'm going to do 3. And then you can put all your meat on there at once. How convenient is that? There we go. Only thing to say is that you want to watch the meat, because if you let the meat sit and you don't cook it when it's done, it will cook to charcoal. It'll burn. You don't want your meat to burn, all right? Babysit that meat. While it's cooking, though, I'm going to go ahead and put down our bed. There we go. We got a bed down. Okay, we heard it fizzle, which means that some of this meat is done. We're going to want to make sure we grab the meat as well as put it back in. The thing about having all of these spits on there is that sometimes it's hard to see which ones are cooked. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, bed's down. I set my spawn point. Now we have a place to sleep, which is nice. When it's dark and cold outside, we can sleep. And my necks are cooked. Okay, all my food is cooked. Rad. So I've got meats there. I got neck there. I've got raspberries. We've got 3 kinds of food. I can eat my neck. I can eat my raspberry. There we go. We are all fed. And I'm noticing a couple things real quick. I'm going to equip my hammer, and as we look around, no, okay, everything looks good, but it is worth noting that things that remain unroofed in your home can take damage if you don't roof them in time. So everything here seems to be in good order, but if it's unroofed and exposed, it will take damage and you'll need to repair it. All right, so our house is built. We've got a bed, which means that now I can just go ahead and tear this stuff apart. Tear apart my workbench and move it inside. And pick up this wood that we broke earlier. All right, that is the first major milestone of this game done. We built a place to live, and we built ourselves a bed. We're going to put our crafting bench right here. Okie dokie. And as far as stuff to craft now, let's take a look at our crafting bench. So I can craft ourselves a crude bow, and I'm going to. 10 wood and 8 scrap. There we go. I've got ourselves a crude bow. I'm going to put it right over here next to... I'm going to put my club and my bow up top, okay? We're going to need arrows, though. Arrows are really easy to make. It's just 8 wood to make 20 arrows. So I'll make 60 arrows. I think that that's good to start. You know what? Let's do one more. As a matter of fact, let's use it all, because we have a multiple of 8. There we go. We have 100 arrows. Perfect. We also have a boar trophy. We'll talk about what that means later. We've got some gold. We've got some resin. We've got stone. We've got some leather scrap. We've got flint, and we've got some feathers. Feathers are good. I found those feathers in a chest. Feathers we can make better quality arrows out of. And before I go to bed, I'm going to run out here. We've got some sparkles out here, which means that there's some items that drop that I never picked up. Let's just go pick them up real quick. I'm going to pull out my axe real quick as well. Let's go harvest up a little bit of extra wood, because there's a couple things that I want to make before we go to bed. And I think that, where's the area? There we go. I chopped down a bunch of trees, and there was just tons of logs hanging out all over the place that need to be chopped. Here we go. Pick up this wood. We'll chop up this log real quick. Then we'll go home, call it a night. Because all I need is a little bit of wood to build a few things that'll come in handy tomorrow. Okay. You know what? I think that this is the last log. Let's just chop it real quick. It'll only take a moment. Come on. There we go. It breaks in 2. And it rolls away. There we go. Okay, last log. Okay, we got some monsters up over this hill. I can hear them. So let's get our club ready. I think they're over that way. Okay, they're fine. I think it was just some necks. And look at this. Look at our cute little house. Not bad for a little starter home. Okay, we're inside. The couple things that I wanted to make. I wanted to make a flint axe. So this is better than our stone axe. That'll make chopping things a little bit easier now. We can also make ourselves a chest to store a few things in, okay? So I'm just going to stick this chest right over here. And basically everything that we don't absolutely need on us for the time being, I'm going to store in here. There's not a whole bunch of storage space in this chest, unfortunately. So I'll keep this on us and keep this on us for now. Okay, I'll keep the hammer and I'll keep the flint axe on us. Okay, I'm going to prepare this stuff. Oh, and you know, also, let's see. We're going to want to make ourselves some leather pants and leather tunic in the morning because I'm not wearing anything, okay? Go to sleep, and in the morning when we wake up, we'll get that bow and we'll go hunt ourselves some deer.